When I think back to the late 70s, it's like flipping through a scrapbook that's bursting with color, sound, and sometimes a few pages that are just plain hard to look at. For a lot of people, especially in the West, these years were like one long, unforgettable block party. In the US, the bicentennial in '76 was everywhere. Flags waving, parades rolling down Main Street, fireworks lighting up the sky. If you were lucky enough to see Jaws in theaters, you probably jumped out of your seat and maybe thought twice before going in the water for the rest of the summer. Then Star Wars landed in '77 and blew everyone's minds. It wasn't just a movie, it was the start of a whole new universe. Some nights you'd hear disco anthems from Saturday Night Fever blasting out of every car window, people in platform shoes and bell-bottoms dancing under mirror balls. Other nights, if you needed to let off steam, punk bands like the Ramones and the Sex Pistols were shouting out your frustrations. It was also the dawn of home computing. Apple II, Commodore PET. Sure, they look ancient now, but back then, they were the future in a beige box. TV was a nightly ritual. Roots got families talking about history and race in ways that just didn't happen before. And Saturday Night Live? Well, let's just say late-night comedy was never the same again. But the world wasn't all fun and games. The end of the Vietnam War in '75 brought a mix of relief and grief. America was left asking tough questions. The oil crisis meant long lines at the pump, soaring prices, and a new word, stagflation, that nobody wanted to learn. There were moments of hope, like the Apollo-Soyuz handshake in space. But the Cold War never really let anyone relax. By the end of the decade, tensions were rising again. And for some, these years bring back memories they wish they could forget. In Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge unleashed horrors so terrible, the world struggled to comprehend them. The Lebanese Civil War tore families and cities apart. In Argentina, the dirty war meant living in fear, never knowing who might disappear next. And then there was Jonestown, a tragedy so shocking, it still echoes today. Looking back, 1975 to 1978 was a paradox, a mix of wild creativity and deep tragedy, sometimes just blocks or continents apart. Depending on where you were, these years were either the best of times or the hardest you could imagine. And maybe that's what makes them so unforgettable.